All right, let's get started. My name is Cody Hawkins, and I may be better known as Mr. Jen Hawkins or Jen Hawkins' husband. And I've got a couple guys on here that are going to help me explain to you why we were skeptics about Plexus in the beginning and network marketing as well because of past experiences. So first, I'll introduce those guys, and we'll go into kind of their stories about how they turned around, what turned for them, and why they're now believers of Plexus and network marketing. Then we'll briefly discuss the comp plan, kind of our thoughts on it, and I'll give you kind of my summary of how I think it works, and how many ways to get paid, but also kind of a brief overview of that. So first, I'll go ahead. I introduce myself. Again, Jen Hawkins is a Diamond Ambassador. She's also a Senior Ruby Ambassador on her second position. Also with me, I've got Willie Eichenhorst. Willie is a Senior Ruby Ambassador himself. He's also running his own business, Eichenhorst Funeral Home, down there in the Houston area. And his wife, Melissa, is a Diamond Ambassador, rocking and rolling as well. Then we have Ryan Robleski, who's on with us. Ryan's a private corporate jet pilot, and his wife, Lindsay, is a Ruby Ambassador. So we'll go ahead. Ryan, we'll start with you. Kind of give us an idea of your thoughts on network marketing as a whole prior to this whole Plexus experience.
First off, I didn't really know a whole lot about it. My sister had been doing some network marketing stuff with several companies, and she's passed through the ranks on a couple of products. And as far as that's really my only introduction to the whole network marketing on how it works. Don't know a whole lot about it.
What happened? What happened when Lindsay came to you and told you she was going to do this? What was your reaction when she said that?
It'd last for about 3 months, and then she'd be moving on to something else. Lindsay's her mentality before this was kind of just use it while it works or while it's fresh and new, and then after the flame dies and she moves on to something else. So I didn't think she would stick around with it as long as she did.
So what do you think? What do you think it was that kept her going with this as opposed to some of the other stuff she'd done in the past?
Honestly, I think it was not so much of the fact that she was trying to work and sell the business as much as the products that were working for gave her and actually showing her amazing results. And then from there, it pushed her more to go out, well, I think I can do this and sell this product and give it to other people as well. If it works for me, why wouldn't it work for some other people?
So what was she looking to lose weight or get healthier? What was her motivation?
Pretty much both. Definitely wanted to lose the weight. We just had our second child at the time. She was trying to get rid of a lot of that baby weight, and summer was coming up, so she started taking it, and within 3 to 4 months it was pretty impressive on the results that she had received. So then she started working the business, and plus she was working full-time for Nestle as a sales assistant there. And we've always been trying to find a way for her to quit her job financially and everything. So she started working the business pretty hard on that, and it obviously worked out for her. So
how long has she been working Plexus now?
She's been working Plexus over a year now. So I think close to, I want to say 18 months, maybe less than that. I don't know. She could tell you better than that, but I do know that she did quit her full-time job in April of this year, and seems to be working out great for us.
So what are your thoughts on kind of you've obviously seen the results health-wise, but when you see the money for a Ruby Ambassador, you're getting to the point where it's getting pretty good out there. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, it's really good. It's actually pretty much a sustainable income as far as I'm concerned. She's making decent money. She's making as much money as she could possibly make as going to be a door greeter at Walmart. I mean, she's definitely doing really well, if not better. And the first couple of months when she did it, like I said, I told her, we talked about it. I told her, I said, I'll give you 3 months to do it. And then I think you're just wasting your time.
Yeah.
And within those 3 months, she started making some pretty decent money. So it was nice to have.
What's here at the past the year point? Is she still pretty excited about working the business, and talking about the products?
Oh yeah, definitely. She's coming on pretty strong. Definitely after the conference out in Phoenix, she came home and I think her team, she said, made a comment or something, added 8 or 9 people onto her team just last week alone. So she's working pretty hard at it, and she keeps it doing every day. So
Awesome.
hopefully it works out better.
Yeah. Well, Willie, you and I have talked about this, and we sat next to each other part of the time at the convention. What was it for you? I mean, Melissa comes to you. She's a teacher. She comes to you and she says, "Hey, I want to try this Plexus thing." Had she tried network marketing in the past?
Yeah, she tried network marketing in the past. It's kind of interesting how it worked for us, because she approached me about the products and using the products. We had both been trying to lose weight forever and gone through diets and exercise routines and all that stuff, like we all have done. And when she brought this to me, I was all on board as far as trying it. I was desperate to try something.
Mm-hmm.
To call me a skeptic, I wasn't even really a skeptic. I didn't give it any thought at all as far as the business was concerned. And come to find out, it later came out that she had started working it and didn't really own up to that until later on. And because she knew how I felt about MLMs. She had done something in the past, and it was something that she, of course, she was trying to do to help our family, but that particular company, the compensation plan was not very good, and it was a strain on us just because it required her to be going to parties and stocking product and doing a lot of things that you don't have to do with Plexus. I didn't even know that she was working the business until she hit silver, and she came up to me and said she had hit the rank of silver, and I'm like, okay, whatever. I don't even know what that means, but I figured seriously that it would just kind of die off, so I didn't even pay much attention to it.
So, but then you guys started taking the products, and you actually saw results on the products, didn't you?
I did. Melissa saw immediate results. Mine was a little more gradual, but I was consistent with it and kept taking it and ended up losing. I'm up to 30 pounds now. But not only that, I'm not drinking soda anymore. I'm not drinking sweet tea. I mean, it's changed my lifestyle, which was something that I'd always struggled to do. Because I can lose weight, but I couldn't keep it off because my habits never changed. And with Plexus, it made it possible for that to happen. And even to allergies and colds. I mean, I attribute all that to using Plexus. I don't have those problems anymore.
So how did it start where she tells you that she's silver ambassador, and at the time did she say, okay, you're going to be one of my next ambassadors? How did that work? Because now you're moving on up.
Yeah, no, it didn't work out that way, quite that way. Her business grew fast, and I didn't really start paying attention to it honestly until she started making as much as she was making part-time teaching at the time, and that's when I was like, wait a second, this is real. There's a real opportunity here. And I think it was at Ruby maybe when I said, I think I'd like to get in on this too. And so I signed up probably about 6 months after she did to become an ambassador. And then it was not very long after that, I guess in April, where we found ourselves, she's retiring from her job. We're driving to the Lexus dealership and planning a trip to Hawaii. I mean, it just all happened so fast, and it's been a huge financial blessing for us.
So what was the time period from when she started to Diamond?
Just under 2 years. Let's see. She started in August 2013 and hit Diamond in March of this year. So
okay,
pretty fast movement.
Yeah, and what I mean, we talked about the comp plan a little bit, or mentioned it, but what was your impression when you first saw those? Like the question I asked Ryan, what was your impression when you first started seeing those checks? You said at Ruby it really changed, but in the beginning you saw those checks, were you still like, I don't know about this? At Gold, at Senior Gold, were you still like, I don't know if this is going to work?
It was impressive, I have to say. I mean, she wasn't working it that hard at the time. She was sharing a lot on Facebook, and she was getting paid for that, and it was impressive. But I think at Ruby is when it like hit another level for me, and it made it possible to even consider her maybe staying at home with our kids and doing what she's always wanted to do, and that's be a mom first. And that opened my eyes, because the one that she was previously in, I think she got to the highest level she got to is right under where you would get the car, which would be Emerald and Plexus, which right under that is Senior Ruby. So she got the equivalent of Senior Ruby in that other company. Mm-hmm. And her checks were not even close. I mean, didn't even touch what she's making at Plexus. It was insane.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, I think what's weird for us is, Jen had never even entertained another network marketing company, because, I mean, one really hadn't presented itself to that really looked attractive enough, and then two, she said it before, but I watch our money pretty tightly, and so had I seen any major expense, because I track everything, had I watched or saw any major expense going out to something I didn't know about, I would have questioned her about it. So I know Plexus is different in my experience in that it's pretty easy to get into, pretty easy to start. Like you were saying, Melissa, you didn't even know until she was silver. But I know some of the other companies, it's sometimes thousands of dollars to get started. And we all notice when $1,000 goes out of the bank account or gets charged to a credit card. You know, Ryan, has that been your experience where you're like, okay, here we go again, the price, it's okay, you know, but goodness, how much money have we spent on this stuff already?
Yeah, it was pretty impressive. Honestly, that was the only reason I said Lindsay could go ahead and give it a whirl, just because the startup fees were minimal compared to any other thing that she's been approached by. So
yeah, for me too, I wasn't sure how it was going to go because of past experiences. I mean, I had grandparents who had been in network marketing, all kinds, and some people have heard this before. They'd sold tea, they'd sold magnets, they'd sold, you know, all products that I'd never seen. They'd never made a dime off any of it. So logically, I figure if they didn't make any money, they lost money doing this stuff. And I didn't want to lose any money, right? So, but when Jen told me about this, for us, we were trying to get her to stay home as well with the kids. And we started off by having her make these. You guys have seen these growth charts, right? That you hang up on a wall that you paint. So we figured, okay, how many of these do you have to paint a day to make $1,000 a month and sell on Etsy or whatever? And it became pretty obvious pretty quickly that there was no way she was going to be able to do this. So we had to come up with another way for her to work smarter, not necessarily harder, but smarter, right? So she could use her skills. And it turned out that networking, I mean, she's pretty good at it. She's done pretty well at it. But when it comes down, I wanted to talk about the compensation plan. And if you guys have any thoughts on it, please chime in whatsoever. But we really, speaking for the Hawkins, we lucked into this. It was a complete blessing that this was our first experience with this. If you know anything about the comp plan, the overview, it's basically you're paid 11 different ways. And guys, I don't know if you've noticed this as well, but Jen, she actually started making money pretty early on, which I thought was different, first of all, because she started getting achievement bonuses. I think it was maybe a month to 2 months before she actually made back the money that she spent every month. And that was the first goal was don't lose money, right? The second goal was, can you make money on this? Can you make $500? And then can you make $1,000? And if you can stay home with the kids, because that's what we need. So if there are 11 ways to make money, I wrote down that they kind of fall into 3 different categories, right? We've got bonuses. You've got your achievement bonuses. You've got your bonuses for hitting different levels, ranks in the company. When you hit Emerald, Sapphire, Diamond, you get bonuses there as well. And then the pay points are the big thing. It's the profit sharing is really another thing that you get that when it really adds up. If you're talking each pay point right now is, almost $3, it can add up pretty quickly. And then commissions as well. You're getting paid on a lot of the sales that you and your team make. So bonuses, commissions, and pay points. To me, it kind of falls into those categories, and it makes sense. I mean, I don't know about you, but I printed off. I went to my back office because I'm also an ambassador, and went to resources, and I downloaded the entire. I like to have more information than I really need, so I can skim over all of it. And I read through it, and it makes pretty good sense. But they've got the chart summary that you guys can find as well. They kind of wraps it up in a nutshell. Willie, you've been doing this a little while. Do you have any thoughts on surprises or thoughts when you first saw the compensation plan?
Well, when I first saw it, it confused me, honestly, because there was just so much to it, and it's pretty detailed. But you might be thinking, oh, yeah, well, they pay 11 ways. Probably every way is a little minuscule amount. And that's the crazy thing. It's like every single way you get paid, it's pretty significant. And especially when you hit that jewel level, Emerald and above, where you get profit sharing. I mean, that's incredible, because Plexus is growing so quickly, and they are making a lot of money. And you get a dip into that pool. So it's pretty amazing. I think about it this way. Like I go to work, I put in my time, I get paid for the time I put in, and it is what it is. And this thing, you are getting paid, and I'll get an email that I got a money email, and I'm sitting here with my kid watching his favorite show or whatever, and I'm sitting here making money while I'm playing with my family. It's just it's awesome.
Yeah, that kind of reminds me of earlier this year, Jen and I were up in Breckenridge. We live about an hour and a half away from the mountain, and we were skiing. We were on a ski lift going up to another run. Jen's on her phone. I'm on my phone. And at the time, I wasn't an ambassador. And we're both answering emails for work. Mine is for military stuff. Hers is for Plexus. The difference between the two is that she's getting paid all the time, right then and there, and I'm not, because I'm not clocked in, right? I'm my hours. I'm not being paid because I'm off hours, but I'm still working. Right. So the crazy thing is they could be sleeping. These girls and some of these guys are sleeping and they're making money. It's that residual income. It is the compensation plan is pretty amazing. And even if you don't get it, just know that you make money early on, and it encourages people to keep going, because obviously the more you do, the longer you stick with it, the more money you can make in the long run. Guys, any closing thoughts? Any advice? Ryan, any advice for other husbands out there who may be listening in? Maybe their wife just joined and they're like, I still don't know about this.
I'd say give it a shot, because it's just a minimal amount to get started, and once it happens, it's pretty amazing how quick it is. Like I said, my wife, she started making good money. She was paying for her product with the money she was making within 2 months. So that's pretty impressive, honestly.
Willie, what about you?
Yeah, I would say if you're not on the products, start using the products right now. They alone will make you a believer in this company, because the products work. Mm-hmm. Also, if you have a wife or a girlfriend, whatever, who's working the business or wants to, support them, give them an honest shot, and let them give it a try. You will be surprised by the blessings that will come with this company if you're supportive. And another thing that's going to help you build belief, is to check out testimonies. Go online, find testimony. There's page after page of testimonies out there. If there's an opportunity meeting in your area, go to it and give it the hour that it is, and hear how these people's lives are being changed, either through their health or their wealth. It is really incredible. Plexus is a special company. I'm all in. I believe in it, and I know you will too if you give it an honest chance.
Yeah, I'm with both of you guys. Giving it a chance is the first step. And Will, you're exactly right. Try the products. My wife and I are on several of the products now. We absolutely love it. Love the way we feel. And like you were saying earlier, we make food choices and choices that we didn't make prior to being on the product. So they definitely work. That's a huge perk, obviously, and it's an easy selling point. I want to let people know about Willie and I run a Facebook page called Plexus Man Cave. It's a closed group for whether you're a guy. It's for men. Okay, so ladies, if you're out there, I'm telling you right now, if I see you or if Willie sees you try to join this group, we're not going to let you in. I'm just saying it right now because it's for guys. It's for guys who are ambassadors, and it's also for husbands who want to support their wives and want to kind of see some testimonies from guys. It's a safe place for dudes to look on there and kind of talk to each other, because sometimes we don't want to share that kind of stuff with a huge audience. Sometimes we just want to share it among guys, among friends. So Plexus Man Cave is the name. Again, Willie and I are the administrators for the page. Find it on Facebook. And with that, guys, anything in closing?
I'm sorry, go ahead, Ryan.
No, I don't have anything to add.
I was just going to say it was interesting how you picked the two guys that have the hardest last names to spell.
Yeah. Well, I made it easy for other people. They can spell Hawkins.
Right. You stood out there a little bit.
Yeah. All right, guys. Thanks a lot. And thanks everybody who called in. It looks like we had about 71 different people calling in, so that's awesome. We'll post this on YouTube and get it uploaded later tonight. Thanks.